Good evening. I am Sherita Fletcher, a student at Mississippi College, and this is my narrative and personal experience speech. There are three historic personalities I would like to meet. First, I would like to meet Mr. James Meredith, who integrated Ole Miss 51 years ago. He actually lives in Jackson, Mississippi. Next, I would like to meet Oprah Winfrey, the richest black woman in the world. Mr. Meredith and Mrs. Winfrey are natives of my home state. Last but not least, I want to meet First Lady Michelle Obama. She grew up in Chicago. All three of these people grew up in a humble environment, yet they excel and merge into mainstream America. The oldest of the three is James Meredith, who was born in on a farm in rural Kosciuszko, Mississippi, on June the 25th, 1933. Oprah Winfrey was born January 29, 1954, in a rural farming community on the outskirts of Kosciuszko, Mississippi. First Lady Michelle Obama was born on January 1964, on the rough side of Chicago. James Meredith is a civil rights icon, an author, and a local business owner. Mr. Meredith became known around the world on September 30th, 1962, when he became a dorm resident. His presence on campus sparked an armed insurrection, which resulted in the death of two people and injuries of thousands. It took 30,000 federal troops to restore order on campus. His father had a fifth grade education, and his mother had an eighth grade education, and he is a 1968 Columbia School of Law graduate. In the past 2 years, I learned Mr. Meredith. First, he was the local news in recognition of the 50th anniversary of his integrating Ole Miss. Earlier this year, he was back in news because three Ole Miss students put a noose around James Meredith's statue on campus. James Meredith say racial inequality remains in Mississippi. Since I attended a integrated college, I had to think deeply about this point. He pointed out that most children attended small private schools are white, while blacks attended public schools. In other words, Mississippi schools are technically integrated but primarily segregated by race. I cannot say it loud enough that I have always been proud of Oprah Winfrey. She is one of the most powerful women in the world. She has impacted the lives of children across the world, and she reaches out to her ethnic group. Oprah Winfrey said in a quote, "Books are my path and personal freedom." Oprah Winfrey's grandmother taught her how to read Bible scriptures when she was 3. She credits her father and stepmother for her educational values. She suggested that children read 15 to 30 minutes per day. Oprah Winfrey grew up doing segregation. She said books helped her dream big. She was inspired also when she read stories about Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, Mary McLeod Bethune, and Frederick Douglass. First Lady Michelle Obama was educated at an Ivy League college. She is a Harvard Law School graduate. During President Obama's 2008 campaign, I heard her say she was once her husband's supervisor. In reading her interview with editor in chief Rosemary Ellis of Good Housekeeping, I grew to admire her more. She has her husband's best interests at heart, and given his presidential popularity struggles, her role is very important. Mrs. Obama told Ms. Ellis that, contrary to popular beliefs, President Obama is the light-hearted one and she is the serious one. She mentioned the two of them catching a movie on the weekends. Even though she and her husband have extraordinary lives, she tells an ordinary story for her existence as the First Lady. She knows how her audience become because she could share stories about being in presence of royalty, visiting uncommon sights, or the like, but knows how to connect to America public through storytelling. I think Michelle Obama's intelligence gives credence to her public speaking ability. In conclusion, James Meredith, who integrated Ole Miss, Oprah Winfrey, a famous television personality, and First Lady Michelle Obama, the wife of America's first black president, are three of the larger than life I admire and who I would love to meet one day. Their determination, dedication, and discipline helped them climb the ladder to partake in America's dream. Keep dreaming because dreams really do come true.